You. What's good everyone, how's it going? Hopefully you're enjoying your Friday morning. In today's video, as you can already see, we're going to be teaching you how to do full whips and rotor whips. With full whips and rotors, you have 4 ways of doing them. You can do a heel whip and an opera bar, a heel whip and your normal bar, and a tail whip and your normal bar, and a tail whip and your opera bar, and that's just going to give you all 4 of your combinations there. These can be pretty basic tricks. There's not a whole lot to them. It's just kind of learning how to spin them, which you can learn these tricks to do on the flat ground at home fairly easy if you give it enough time and effort. So starting off first, we have a rotor. So a rotor for me is a normal tail whip and a normal bar spin, and you got to remember that I do down bars, so this may be opposite bar spin and a normal tail whip for you. This one we're going for now is a full whip. So a full whip for me is a normal whip and an opposite bar spin. This one here is a full heel, so this is an opposite whip and a normal bar spin. Lucky last, we have the heel rotor, so it's an opposite heel whip and an opposite bar spin. So now we're going to be going over the steps on how to rotor whip. So a normal tail whip and a down bar. So the way I like to spin it, I whip with my front foot and then I spin the bar when the deck's about halfway around. The reason why I like to spin the bars when the deck's halfway around is just because I get that bit more control over the whip and it helps me land it a bit cleaner. And when you're learning, you're probably going to be spinning your bars a bit later than you should be, because it helps if you just spin it and then as it's just getting underneath your feet, then you spin the bar, and then as you get better at them you can kind of do them all at once. Now we're going to be going over full whip. So full whip again is a normal whip and a topside bar. I also ride regular as well, so yeah, it should be the same if you're goofy. So the way I like to spin my full whips, I like to spin it with my back foot, because I feel like when you spin it with your back foot, you get that extra bit of spin, compared to my rotors where I spin my rotor with my front foot. So this is where you start learning about your foot positioning and the best ways to spin your scooter around. So with a full whip, I like to spin them both at the same time, so as soon as it leaves my front foot, my right hand is spinning the bars around. And then it just stays in the same motion the whole time. Now we have a heel rotor. It's pretty much the same idea as your normal rotor, but the way I position my feet are also a bit different. So I like to spin my heel rotor with my back foot and pretty much spin the bars as soon as it leaves my foot as well. And trying to keep my bars as straight as possible, because if your scooter starts going a bit wonky like that, your heel is going to be mucked up, and when you're doing a heel rotors and heel full, you want to try to keep your deck as flat as possible, and that's just going to make it that much easier to spin and control and land. And the last one we're going to be going over is a heel full. So pretty much the same as all the others. You're going to be wanting to spin it at the same time as it leaves your foot. And I also like to spin my heel fulls with my back foot as well, so it comes around nice and easy, and trying to keep it as flat as possible, because when it's flat coming around, both wheels are going to land on the ground at the same time. You're not going to be nose heavy or back wheel heavy. And the best way to get consistent, like any trick, is just to stand in one spot and just consistently spin it around and around for as long as you can be bothered, or as long as you can put effort in for it. That's the way I learn most of my tricks when I'm learning them, is I learn how to spin them flat, and when I can spin them flat with my eyes closed perfect every time, that's when I know I'll be able to do it on the flat and land it pretty much straight away. And now we're jumping into the full whip and rotor. So when you do it, you kind of want to lead off your back wheel and throw yourself forward, and that's just going to help you get a nice amount of air time to land it. The amount of air time you probably need is probably about 30 centimeters, something like that. You don't need to go insanely high to do them, but the higher you go, it's going to make the trick that much easier to land. Now Oscar here is going to give us a demonstration, or not. He's going to go back inside.
I've been feeling like a ninja when I step into the scene, trying to get a win but you're nothing what it seems when I tap in, sending my enemies underwater like a Baptist. Better be legendary, I don't even need practice. All my life I've been up in these chains, thinking that the world needs change. I've been at it working from the night to the day, and you know I do it from my life to the grave. Yeah, I don't think you're really ready. People talking down to it, blowing like confetti till they see the fan count, then it's like we're going steady. Every single night in your dreams like a Freddy. Gotta center myself, I gotta real my health, I gotta save my wealth, cause I don't know what's gonna happen in like 10 years. This apocalyptic future is so unclear. Lately I've been at it going in the top gear, feeling like a ninja, let it set into my brain. Hyper at the flow, let it go against the grain. All this music is an outlet for the people who in pain. Let them all know it's way deeper than the fame. I got hold it with the beast, try shade with the heat. I've been busy making apples so you know I never sleep. I've been busy
hopefully you guys enjoyed today's little video, and there are some helpful tips in there, and you can go outside and start learning how to full whip and rotor whip. Like always, if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll be sure to answer them in a comment or in the next video. So thank you for watching today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one.